As everyone knows, the drama channel community has one very obvious blind spot that they refuse to acknowledge. That being that they love to hold everyone accountable except for Trisha Paytas. Typically her behavior is either swept under the rug or instantly forgiven. And that's because she's befriended the majority of them, which is why they won't say a bad word about her. Which we've proven before. Here she is talking about Dustin Dailey.
But is that offensive? Because I was like tweeting Dustin Dailey. He was totally down, by the way, because Dustin, you know, #1 stan. We're each other's #1 stans. Mr. Negative and Dustin Dailey. Not Dustin. Dustin's always been very loyal and amazing to me. He's been on my YouNows. And people like Dustin, I'll love forever.
And various other drama channels she knows won't turn against her.
There's this guy watching him, Nick Snyder. I've talked about him before on my channel. He's been on my vlog channel a long time ago. He's kind of a drama channel, not really. He's always been like really cool to me. That's why I liked him. Of all the drama channels, like he's always been really cool. And I've actually met him in person. So maybe that's why there's some sort of human connection, but that's not even the case. I've had human connections with so many like drama channels, and then they like it's just, I don't know. No one sees you as like a human sometimes. It's like really frustrating, but I've hung out with Nick in LA and stuff, and
okay. This is why she's friends with a lot of drama channels and they all hate me.
I don't see Dustin Dailey on my friends list watching. Dustin, where are you, boo? Dustin's so sweet. I finally watched the video he did, the recent one he did on me. He's so nice. He's just a ride or die. I get down with people like that who just are there for you.
She's mentioned before how she befriends channels so they won't turn against her and out her for problematic things she's done or is doing. Which is why she was so surprised when Adam McIntyre continued to call her out a few times, because she thought by befriending him he would stay quiet. And he does at times. And so do all the others, so her tactic does work. Except for with Peter Monn, who will frequently hold her feet to the flame if he finds a fire that she herself has started. And although he himself has also given her free pass a handful of times, he does appear to be one of the only ones who will actually speak out openly against her from time to time. Which does deserve praise when it happens. Because he's proving that he's more loyal to his viewers than his potential YouTube connections. And will call out problematic behavior when he sees it, which is a lot more than can be said for a lot of his peers. Evidently, Trisha confessed to lying about claiming to be part of a community, and Peter was one of the only drama channels to address it. In his video where he calls Trisha out for lying, he expresses his shock over the fact that his peers haven't touched on the topic yet. Though it should be no surprise really, considering what we've proven before. That most of the channels won't shine a light on her problematic behavior because they're protecting her.
I cannot even do my intro today, and I have to be honest with you, I'm really, really surprised that more people aren't talking about this. Especially in today's time. I'm really, and also knowing the following base of Trisha Paytas, I'm really, really surprised that more people aren't talking about it.
Peter, however, isn't one of them, and that much was proven when he clarified what his video was going to be about. Holding her accountable for a serious lie that she told.
Because what we're going to talk about today is that Trisha Paytas has come out and said that she was just pretending to be trans.
Naturally, he appears to be disgusted by what she's done and doesn't understand how she could speak about lying about something so serious so casually.
What surprises me is how nonchalantly she chooses to address it years later. To me, to just kind of blatantly kind of just like throw it out there as a joke is just, it's baffling to me. It's just baffling to me. Because in the clip, she's like, yeah, she talks about like, oh, you know, it was cute or whatever when I was pretending to be trans. And
Peter seems shocked by how Trisha could so casually speak about what she had done, but it's not surprising when you think about the fact that she knows she can get away with anything, because nobody actually holds her accountable for anything. Think about everything she's gotten away with so far, everything we've posted about on this channel. She has not had to acknowledge or apologize for any of it. That is why, Peter, she knows she can say whatever she wants. Because she knows there's no consequences for her words or her actions. He seems confused by Trisha's co-host, Oscar, who allowed Trisha to get away with admitting she lied without being called out.
And, you know, it's interesting watching the podcast. In the past, I've said that I thought that the podcast was a good move for her. I do think it's a good move for her. I think the podcast is a good fit for her, you know? And I think that Oscar is a good co-host for Trisha. Apparently, even a better co-host than I thought he was, because the fact that as a openly gay man, as part of the LGBTQIA plus community, him just letting her, I mean, if somebody said this to me in front of me, I would check them. I would be like, unless they edited that part out, but I don't think it's edited out. Her podcasts are so highly edited. I mean, it's literally jump cut. You can tell when she cuts something out. So I don't think that he does check her on it. I also think that a good co-host is somebody that checks you sometimes. It's like what I say about friends, right? That a friend will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I have difficulty as an openly out gay married man that's been out for 34 years at this point, and has fought for marriage equality, and has fought for gay rights and human rights and trans rights. I have a difficult time understanding how somebody as part of that community can just sit there and let a statement like this be made.
And while that's completely understandable, it's not surprising. Oscar is also the same guy who excused Trisha picking on Charli D'Amelio when Charli was only 15 years old. Let's not forget the time that Trisha tried to admit to doing wrong, and Oscar piped up telling her not to apologize because she did nothing wrong by coming after a 15-year-old.
And I'm so sorry to Charli. Oh my God, could you, like, I think about that. Like, could you imagine if you actually, like, ruined her life or something? Like, she was so depressed. What if she's, like, depressed from that? She has, like, PTSD, and I did that to her.
Also, it wasn't just, like, there was a lot of people saying the same thing.
But do they all have kids now?
I'm sure most of them do.
That's so specific.
You're not the only adult that has said something about her who has a kid.
I apologize to Charli D'Amelio. I'm so sorry. I'm still thinking about that.
No,
like, I'm so upset about it.
Shouldn't.
I know. I feel so bad. I want to personally apologize.
Peter goes on to call Trisha out about her reasoning for why she's decided to delete old videos off of her channel, exposing the fact that he knows that she's doing it because she knows her videos are problematic, and is essentially trying to hide her past from a new audience.
I don't know what big project they're doing for her, but whatever it is, she doesn't want this new audience that's going to find her to come over there and find all these old problematic videos. It's basically what she's saying, but she's hiding it behind this guise of, this is a new refreshed, renewed, Trisha Paytas. And like, that doesn't fit over there anymore, okay?
He's right about that, but if one thing has been proven already, it's that she wouldn't be held accountable even if those videos stayed up. Some of what she's trying to hide and delete is contained in videos within our entire channel, and in spite of us shining them under a light, they still get swept under the rug. There's people in the comments of our channel that still defend her for even the most horrific behavior that we've shown. So truthfully, whether Trisha leaves the videos alone or deletes them, one fact remains the same. It won't matter, because she won't be held accountable for them. Peter himself posted his video about a week ago now, and the news he shared still hasn't spread. And that's because the drama channels won't allow it to. They control the narrative and she's in their ears, therefore she's safe from any and all criticism. Notice how fast news about Gabby Hanna doing the most minuscule thing can spread like wildfire, but Trisha admits to mocking yet another community? And we hear nothing from them. It goes to show you that they don't actually care about what they report on, and the outrage they do show is fake. Peter's is real because Peter is one of the only ones with a backbone to speak about something even if no voices are behind him or beside him doing it. He even calls her out for simply deleting the videos rather than addressing them. A valid observation, we must say, and a valid question.
Out of all the videos, I mean, she talks about the eating videos a little bit, but out of all the videos, she talks about she says pretending to be trans. And I was like, wait a second. Pretending to be trans. Okay, so I'm very confused about this. So I watched it. So that's really what she's saying, okay, is that she's not changing that channel, the Blonde Sundoll channel. She's not changing that channel. She's going to change the name of that channel to just it'll be just Trisha Paytas. But she's changing that channel because she's acting like that doesn't fit over there. That's not who she is. If that's the case, okay, and you find all those videos to be problematic, then why don't you come out and make an apology for all those past things that you said and all those past things that you did? Because just deleting the videos isn't just like, it is what it is.
But we all know why she won't. Because in her mind she's never done anything wrong, and anything she has done wrong is trolling. Therefore it doesn't count. Peter goes in depth about why he views Trisha's lie and casual confession of that lie as a problem, explaining the seriousness of the situation that Trisha and her co-host Oscar just laughed off.
in this very same video with a gay man sitting on her podcast talking about how she pretended to be trans. And I guess this is my issue today, right? My issue is that we live in this outraged society today, right? Everybody wants to get outraged about everything today. And when we're talking about that, we live in this world today where people want to diminish and, and declassify the importance of trans people's experiences in their lives today in the world, okay? And rhetoric of saying that trans people are pretending to be trans is a huge issue in our world today, okay? It's a huge issue in our world. When people are talking about being afraid to go in bathrooms, and people are afraid to do this, and people are afraid to do that, because these people aren't really trans. They're pretending to, which then leads into this rhetoric, okay, of taking away trans rights, which then leads into this rhetoric of taking away the LGBTQIA plus rights, which then goes into taking away rights from different racial backgrounds, which then goes into taking rights away from women. It just goes back and goes back and it goes back. But when you have this idea of pretending to be trans, I'm saying that this ideology of laughing it off as, oh, those videos were bad back in the day, that was just me pretending to be trans, leads into this ideology that all trans people are pretending to be trans. So yeah, I do take this very, very seriously.
Again, Peter expresses his shock in how Trisha's behavior has been overlooked.
And it's like, I don't know how we just kind of look past all this stuff.
Peter gets so angry, and rightfully so, that he once again calls out Trisha's co-host for enabling her behavior and not speaking out against it.
This isn't just some offhanded joke, okay? And that's why I do bring Oscar into this. Because maybe your co-hosting a show is a little bit more important to you than the rights of people out there that came before you that fought for your rights that you have now.
At one point, Peter talks about how he was a fan who later learned about her problematic past, but what he fails to mention is that he himself contributed to overlooking it. And that's why she was bold enough to confess to what she lied about that made him angry. That's why she laughed it off as a joke, because she knows it'll be overlooked.
Then I kind of turned around and started falling in love with Trisha Paytas. And I didn't know a lot about a lot of this problematic stuff, but through the years I have learned about all the things that she refuses to address, okay? And I'm not saying that she needs to address all of it, okay? I'm not saying she needs to address every little allegation out there, but there's some huge things that she might want to come out and address. And I think if she's going to come out and she's going to delete all these videos, basically what she's saying is, you ain't never going to get an apology from me. You are never, ever going to hear me ever address these things, because once they're gone, poof, it's gone for good. And I'm done thinking about it. Out of sight, out of mind, okay?
People like to claim that people who are holding Trisha accountable are just Trisha haters, but the truth is they're people from communities just like Peter who are outraged that she's gotten away with hurting their communities for so long. And he's right, she'll never apologize for it, because she knows she doesn't have to. He directly quotes what she said on the podcast, and called her out by asking her what exactly she found cute about mocking a community, and we too would love to know the answer to that.
So then she goes in and she says, and this is a direct quote, she says, "It's cute. I pretended to be trans or whatever. It's cute. I pretended to be trans or whatever. It's cute. It's cute. What's cute, girl? What's cute?"
We would also like to know why she continues to get away with it. Peter then calls Trisha out for mocking an entire community simply for views, attention, and to get opportunities in her career, using a community as some sort of stepping stone to further her success.
In reality, what Trisha Paytas did was, okay, because pretending is play acting. It's mockery. So she was play acting, okay, just like she's done with religions, just like she's done with mental health issues, just like she's done with other things, okay? She was play acting being trans because it was a hot topic at that time that got her a lot of news coverage.
He then encourages her to actually address the issue for once, rather than yet again trying to hide it by deleting her videos.
Why don't you come out on that, Blonde Sundoll channel before you change it over to just being Trisha Paytas? Why don't you come over to that channel and say, I don't like who I was in my past. I don't like that I made these videos about saying that I was trans. Instead of saying, you know what, I might have in retrospect really hurt a lot of trans people or taken away their stories by mocking their stories, by acting like their story was mine, you know? I don't know, but I feel like I need to address it instead of just coming out and going, it's cute, pretending to be trans. Why don't you ask a trans person, Trisha, if it's cute pretending to be trans?
But we all know that won't happen. We're proud of Peter, though, for addressing it when all his peers chose to turn a blind eye. And that's why we titled this video the way that we did.
And I'm like, you're just like totally making a mockery of people in the LGBTQI plus community and our experiences. You know, I don't know. And